Hi there, GotAUkulele.com back with an instrument review that I think is going to interest quite a lot of you, maybe annoy some others. This is the Martin OX Uke Bamboo Soprano, and it's made in a way that I think is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. In fact, Martin made a ukulele like this one. I'll explain why in a moment. About 10 years ago, and it created quite a bit of division between people. They've been making guitars out of the same stuff for a while, and that stuff is called HPL, high pressure laminate, but it's not laminate as you'd think of in ukuleles normally. There's no wood in the laminate at all. That's right, there's no wood in this whatsoever. It's a laminate of layers of paper in a resin, and it's basically called formica. It's the stuff that's used to make kitchen countertops. Very hard, very light, very strong, but it's no wood in it whatsoever, and that's what the body's made out of. Standard double bout soprano, exactly the same dimensions as the Martin S1. So what's that bamboo all about? You can see the bamboo on the outside there. That's not bamboo either. I've seen reviewers talking about these saying that's an outer veneer of bamboo. No, it isn't. It's a picture, it's a photograph of bamboo layered onto the outside of the HPL, and the HPL is this black because that isn't edge binding. That's basically what the HPL looks like. So they make it out of all HPL parts, and on the outside is printed a bamboo image. This one in blue, also comes in natural colour, also comes in green, and comes in red. I quite like the blue actually, strangely. Some people won't, but there we are. But there is a natural colour too. So no wood in this whatsoever. I'll come on to my thoughts on that in a little moment. Standard Martin slotted bridge mounting made out of rosewood. In the future, due to restrictions on CITES, rosewood's going to be harder to ship around, so they're changing to SIPO, African hardwood. This one's rosewood because I think it's a 2016 model. And into that is a compensated tusk saddle. We've got a soundhole rosette round there, just like on the S1, but it's not as stark looking on this pale blue, and I quite like it. Really interesting to see, considering it's made out of this tough HPL material, that you've got standard wooden bracing in there and wooden notched kerfing, just like on any other Martin. And it smells like a Martin. It smells like wood in there, which is really strange. Anyway, really nicely put together throughout. Typical Martin construction. Attached to that body with a dovetail joint is another interesting part of this, and that's this neck, which, as you can see, I'll show you the end profile there. It's made of laminate of lots and lots of strips of birch ply. They call it Stratabond. They claim it's extremely strong and won't twist over time. Some people don't like them. I do actually. I think it looks really funky. I like that rather a lot. And it's finished in a satin that's really, really smooth, exactly the same profile and depth and nut width as the Martin S1, so about 36mm up at the top there. Topping that, rosewood fingerboard, that's also changing to SIPO. Shaped like the S1, 17 nickel silver frets like the S1, 15 to the body, position markers at 5, 7 and 10, double at the 7th, and side position markers extra at the 3rd and also the 12th and the 15th. That's really nicely dressed, better dressed than my Martin S1. No sharp edges whatsoever, really good condition. Past the tusk nut up to the typical Martin headstock. That's faced in more of the HPL. Thankfully, the Martin logo is an ink in black rather than a gold Christmas card sticker like on the S1. And it's got the same tuners as the S1, which are basic Grovers. They're alright, they're not the best though. They're alright. And there we are. It comes with Martin brand strings, obviously. And also you get the Martin padded gig bag with it. Now, I moaned about the gig bag with the Martin S1 but the reason I did that is that's a solid wood instrument. I think most people spending 350, 400 quid would want a hard case. This is really tough, being made out of HPL. I totally get why you'd want the gig bag with it. That's a good addition, I think. And the price for this is probably the bit that I think people do a sharp intake of breath at. I mean, the list is about $400 and something. You can pick these up for about $300 in the US now, £350 in the UK. UK always getting the bad deal here, but there we are. It's cheaper than the S1, but it's very expensive when you say, how much for a laminate instrument? Yeah, it is a laminate instrument, and perhaps you are paying for the Martin name, but actually, none of that matters if it sounds any good, if you put what it's made of out of your mind. And I'll come on to that after we've had a play, because it sounds absolutely brilliant. I actually prefer the tone of this to my Martin S1. I think it's more rounded. I think it's warmer. It doesn't feel like wood. It doesn't sound like wood, but it doesn't sound like a lunchbox either. I know there's some people who don't like the fleas because they can hear the plastic in them. You can't hear the plastic in this. I played this to my wife blindfold, and she thought I'd bought a very expensive wooden ukulele. Loads of sustain, loads of volume, same volume and sustain as the Martin S1, rounder tone. And, you know, nice action, perfect setup incidentally. Really good tone, really good setup, really good build quality, but it's plastic. Now, if you put that out of your mind and say, well, so what? Doesn't matter, does it? On the plus side, I think it is an ethical choice, it's an eco-friendly choice. Resources around the globe are getting harder. Clara made an instrument made out of no wood whatsoever, and it's absolutely sublime and significantly more expensive than this. Blackbird, that is, the Blackbird Clara. And people didn't moan about that, but people are moaning about this because it's got that name on the headstock. That shouldn't matter. Where I think they've missed a trick is they've not gone completely eco. There's wood here, there's wood on the fingerboard, there's wood on the neck. Blackbird went completely no wood. I think I'd buy into it more if that was the case. And I think what I don't like about this is that it's also trying to be something it's not. It's calling it the bamboo. It's putting the wood print on the outside so you think there's some wood in it. It's almost like Martin are ashamed that it isn't wooden. And I find that a bit strange. So I'm really kind of divided with it. But saying that, I think it sounds absolutely terrific. You know, if I spent 350 quid on a wooden ukulele that sounded like this, I'd be delighted. Because it is a really good, well-made, great sounding instrument. Bit out of tune, sorry. There's nothing wrong with it as an instrument. I just wonder how Martin get it over to people that it doesn't really matter what it's made of. And maybe those who do see the eco-friendly credentials, because there's certainly a bit of wood in it, but there's less wood than in a traditional ukulele. We'll get it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I mean, I think sound-wise, I think this beats the S1, and it's cheaper than the S1. I think it punches well above its weight. And why not? Yeah, bit of an odd one. Martin OX Uke Bamboo. I think it's a recommendation. See you soon. More coming very soon. Loads coming, in fact. Bye-bye.